Hi everyone, welcome back to Summit Mentorship, and one of the most popular videos we've posted on this site was a video with our resident education expert, my lovely wife Jennifer. So everyone please welcome Jennifer back. How are you feeling today?
I am feeling great.
Very good. So our first video that we ever did together that we posted on the site was about 3 tips for remote learning, because so many of us are having to teach our kids at home and work remotely with our teachers, and it's such a new thing. So we gave you 3 tips, and the first tip we gave you was how to create, or that you need to create a learning area for your kids. So a space that's really dedicated to to create a learning environment so that they get in the right mindset, right?
Yes.
And just one time real quick, why was that so important? What does it do for the kid to have a dedicated place to learn?
I think it gets their mind focused on the day, that this is a learning time, it's time for schoolwork, and it's a time to learn.
Very good. So it gets them in the right mindset, and it just creates a space. Each space has its own purpose, and we're going to use this space for learning. So as you see, we're sitting in a space that we have created, and so we're going to walk you through. I'm going to ask some questions as Jennifer here walks us through. Just like many of you are facing in your learning spaces, you can probably see and hear some thumping from Russell. He is our Australian Shepherd, and so those are the kind of things that we try to, that we have to navigate when we're creating this space. So he may come in and out of the shot a little bit, but we're going to work around him. He's happier when he's near us, so we're just going to let that roll.
And that's very normal in a session. I've met quite a few pets over the time.
Well, and like, yeah, just today you were able to use that with the book that you chose to work with the kid, and it made a connection, and you said it was the best day and the best that kid had performed by seeing what was there and then building off of it.
It was. It's building those relationships and using what's in their environment to make a connection. So, yeah.
So see, you use everything and anything that we can to make the connection so that the children are learning. But what we've done is we've just taken a spot in our home. It is between our kitchen and our utility area, just a very small spot. We're going to show you how to do this very inexpensively. It doesn't have to be elaborate, like I believe you used the phrase, it doesn't have to be Pinterest worthy or something like that in the other video. So we're going to show you how to do this. So I'm going to walk out of the frame real quick. We're going to get back in and let Jennifer point out some key points of what we've done. We'll be right back with you. All right, so here we are again. We're showing the learning area. Why don't we start? Tell me about the table that you've chosen here for our learning area.
Okay, we just had this table in the back area of our kitchen. So we don't use it very often, but it was just something we had around. So that's why I thought it'd be perfect. I didn't have to go spend money. It's affordable. So we just chose that as our option. But you could do a card table. You might could get a folding table at Walmart or some other stores. A lot of people I've seen using tables they use for yard sales, just the adjustable legs, more plastic top. That would work just as well too.
And even when James was looking for a desk, we were kind of helping, and you were able to find one on a yard sale there. So the desk that he uses for his videos, for a lot of the videos for Summit, was actually a pretty good deal.
It was. We were on a yard sale page looking for a desk, and found one right in our town for $30. Not bad at all. It's a really nice desk. He uses it now for the Summit Mentorship videos, and yeah, we've got a lot of use out of that desk. It was a great purchase and not too expensive. So look on the yard sale pages.
So lots of options for our table. Just make sure that it has at least a little room for the kid to put some things. I see you've got some things next to the computer. So what kind of things do they need to have room for? What do we have in addition to the Chromebook that the school provided?
Right. And this one is set up mainly for elementary children, so needs will be different. But I definitely had their notebook nearby. Wanted to keep that. Just a pencil box. Doesn't have to be anything fancy. Crayons, pencils, scissors, glue sticks, everything right there for them. They don't have to search for them and waste time sitting right there. So it's easily accessible for them. I have a great cart here. This cart, I think I saw it on sale, $20 at Michael's, but it is perfect to hold extra materials. Some of the children might need dry erase boards. Now, some of the schools might provide those for them, but if not, Dollar Tree is wonderful for those types of things. Even don't go spend money on an eraser if you don't need to. Use a sock. It's perfect. You can even stick your marker in the sock so that the child doesn't lose it. It's really easy and affordable. Also, young children might have magnetic letters as well. Again, if you don't have to buy a fancy board, a cookie sheet at Dollar Tree works perfect. So, some cart maybe to store some items where you could use a basket, that would work. Some kids might even have math manipulatives they're needing to keep close by for math class. So everything is right there for them. So yeah, those are some of the tools that they might need.
Good, and I see some things on the wall. I remember in our prior video you talked about schedules and things you might hang up. So what do we have on the wall here?
On the wall, we did talk about schedules because I think that is just so important that the students have their schedules up. Their schedules might look a little different day to day, so I like color coding, so I do have some color coding. That's just the way my mind works, but it doesn't have to be color coded. If you don't have a printer and ink, just write it on a piece of notebook paper, that's fine. But having those times and who they're supposed to meet with during the day is going to be helpful in keeping them on track, because they may be meeting with different teachers on different days. Some students have extra teachers to meet with, like speech teachers or occupational therapy or reading specialists. So they can mark those in on those times, and so they don't forget, especially if it's 1 or 2 days a week. I also put username and password. A lot of kids already know their usernames and passwords, but the young children might forget, especially if they're new to school, and keeping that handy for them would be good. Certainly if they're a young kindergartner, maybe their name, and kindergarten, first grade, maybe the alphabet chart. They might need a number chart. Third grade might need multiplication tables. You can stick any of those types of things up there for them. I also put a little hook over here for earbuds. They get lost, even in our home a lot, probably more due to me. But having a place to hang them will help your child keep them in their learning space, and so they'll be prepared for the next day. You can get earbuds also too at Dollar Tree. I love Dollar Tree. It's very affordable. That way, if you have, especially if you have multiple children in the house and you keep hearing teachers talking, it can be distracting to the other child, and so just it will keep them more focused if they maybe have some earbuds or headphones to use. And you don't have to hang them, you could just put them in a basket or on a cart, but I just chose to put a hook on it, so yeah.
Good. So those are good things, and so basically if you imagine the children's rooms that you've probably seen through the years, there are lots of things that teachers put up with borders and all sorts of posters and things that assist with learning, and as you said, you kind of base it on what your child is studying. So this isn't something that necessarily has to start this way and stay this way the whole year. It needs to change with the lessons that as they're being taught.
Exactly, and you'll be able to tell what they need. As the year goes on, maybe they're working with vowels. You can just put the vowels up, or maybe multiplication's not appropriate. Maybe they're going on to division, or maybe they need things with shapes. But yeah, you can just change what you put up in the background, whatever they need.
And what if I've got a couple of different kids? Is there a way to kind of segregate the learning areas so that I can fit multiple people in this same little small space? How could I do something like that?
You could do that, especially if you have some earbuds. That would work. I thought about what I would do here, because we had 2 children, so if I was sort of facing this situation, I would set this up with some type of trifold in the middle of the table, one child at one end and one child at the other. This table might be a little close on space, but I think it would still work. But I think it still would be enough space. I would probably use, I don't know, some people do projects, some kids still do projects at school. I saw an old trifold from a project the other day, and I pulled it out because I said I might need to use it. Something like that would work, or either taking a piece of poster board and folding it so it could be a trifold. That way they're not staring at each other and getting distracted. Put the earbuds in, they're ready to go.
So if we can have separate areas for each child, that's probably the best. But if we're limited on space, it is perfectly all right to use the same space. Just put something like a trifold. And let's say that we're going to sit it, because we're gonna show you a sample of the trifold here as we're talking. About how tall would that rise up off of that table?
I think the trifold I have, it's pretty. The one for projects is pretty tall, but it's also very sturdy. Poster board, it would be more about this height, as long as they can't see each other.
So above eye level.
Yeah.
From a seated position.
Yes, as long as it's above eye level, they should be fine.
Cool. So we've got the table. We figured out how to get that. We've got the things on the wall that are needed, the things that are available to the child. A nice, very inexpensive cart is a good place to be able to store things. Any final tips to give us on setting up this area?
You know, again, it doesn't have to be elaborate. If you have multiple children, it could get really expensive buying desks for everybody, and good luck finding them. Also, you might find them in a few months. They may be back ordered, but you know, just keeping it simple, and really keeping them on a schedule and designating that space is so important, because they know that's the time they have to focus on their schoolwork. I think just that's really huge.
Awesome. Well, thank you for that. I'm going to step back here in the picture for just a moment. I really hope you guys enjoyed that. I hope you got some good information to build your learning space for your child. If you have enjoyed content like this that we're providing on Summit Mentorship, I'm going to ask you one more time, please subscribe to the channel, like our YouTube page, just connect with us. So leave us some comments below and let us know what you're doing. Maybe even leave some pictures so we can all share and learn together with how we're building these spaces out for our children so they can get the most from their learning experience with their teachers. So thanks again, Jennifer. It was fun to do this again with you. And we hope to see all of you again real soon.